Imagine a bustling city that never sleeps. Thousands of roads connect factories, power plants, and construction sites. Factories, power plants, construction sites. Raw materials arrive, are processed into new products, and then shipped to where they are needed. Waste is collected and removed. This non-stop activity is a lot like what happens inside a single living cell. All of this chemical work, the sum total of every reaction that builds up and breaks down molecules to sustain life, is called metabolism. It is the intricate network of chemical processes that keeps the cell running, growing, and responding to its environment. Running, growing, responding to its environment. Without metabolism, a cell would be like a city with no traffic, no power, and no work being done. It would cease to be alive. Within this cellular city, the roads are called metabolic pathways. A metabolic pathway is a series of linked, enzyme-catalyzed steps, transforming a substrate into a final product. The first is anabolism, the process of building large complex molecules from smaller ones, the construction work of the cell. For example, when your body builds muscle, it links amino acids to form proteins, which requires an input of energy. The second is catabolism, breaking down complex molecules into smaller units, the demolition and power generation work of the cell. When you digest food, large molecules like starch are broken into sugars, releasing stored energy that can power anabolic processes. This constant interplay is how cells manage resources. Cells are masters at converting energy from one form to another to get work done. The chemical energy in food cannot directly make a muscle contract. Cells first break down food, capture the energy as ATP, then use ATP to power movement. This flow is carefully regulated, so there is always enough power for thinking, moving, repairing, and reproducing. Metabolism, the sum of all chemical reactions organized into metabolic pathways, supporting life. To understand metabolism, we must first understand energy, the capacity to cause change or to do work. Energy exists in many forms we see every day. Broadly, we classify energy into kinetic and potential. Left, kinetic energy. Right, potential energy. Kinetic energy is motion. Heat is kinetic energy from random molecular motion. The faster they move, the hotter the object. Potential energy is stored by location or structure. In biology, the key potential energy is chemical energy, stored in bonds of sugars, fats, and even fuels like gasoline. Cells convert potential energy to do work. Catabolic pathways break bonds, releasing stored potential energy to power muscle contraction, transport, and synthesis. A spark starts burning. Cellulose breaks down, releasing heat and light, forms of kinetic energy. Similarly, cells burn glucose in a controlled way to capture energy, without bursting into flames. Thermodynamics studies energy transformations that govern everything, from stars to single cells. Energy can be transferred and transformed but cannot be created or destroyed. Like currencies, forms can change while total value remains the same. Plants convert sunlight to sugar. Your body transforms sugar to movement. Every energy transfer increases entropy, the disorder of the universe. Some energy becomes unusable heat, dispersed, disordered. Organisms are ordered, but not closed systems. They take in energy to build order. By releasing heat, cells increase total entropy, fully consistent with the second law. Like building a sandcastle, you expend energy, scatter sand, produce heat and CO2, order locally, and greater disorder overall. Not all stored energy is available to do work. The usable portion is free energy, G. Think of it as your spendable energy. DG tells whether a reaction proceeds on its own. Spontaneous reactions decrease free energy, DG0, like a ball rolling downhill. Exergonic releases energy. Endergonic requires energy, DG0. Burning wood and breaking down glucose are exergonic. Photosynthesis and building proteins are endergonic. Energy coupling uses a downhill process to drive an uphill one, so the overall is exergonic. The key coupler is ATP. Its hydrolysis is highly exergonic and powers building molecules and membrane transport. ATP is the primary energy currency linking exergonic to endergonic reactions. Key terms: free energy, exergonic, endergonic, energy coupling, ATP. If free energy is the currency for work, ATP is how cells carry and spend it. Think of ATP as a rechargeable battery. When ATP is used, it becomes ADP and is recharged in mitochondria. ATP has adenine, ribose, and 3 phosphates. The closely packed negative charges store potential energy, like compressed springs. Hydrolysis breaks a phosphate bond, ATP to ADP plus pi, releasing free energy in an exergonic reaction. ATP powers chemical work, synthesizing polymers, transport work, pumping substances, and mechanical work, muscle contraction, cilia beating. Enzymes couple ATP hydrolysis to specific energy-requiring steps. Cells have a small ATP pool. A working muscle can use it up in under a minute, so ATP is constantly regenerated from ADP plus pi. Energy for recharging comes from the exergonic breakdown of food, cellular respiration, closing the ATP cycle that links catabolism to anabolism. This ATP cycle keeps the cellular city running smoothly. Even exergonic reactions often need a start. The initial energy input to get going is activation energy, the energy barrier. Enzymes lower the activation energy barrier, allowing reactions to proceed much faster. A catalyst speeds a reaction without being consumed. Enzymes do this in cells. They don't change DG or make endergonic reactions spontaneous. They help reactants reach the transition state and become products. With enzymes, reactions can be hundreds, thousands, even millions of times faster. Without enzymes, metabolism would be a standstill. In blood, carbonic anhydrase speeds CO2 plus water, carbonic acid. Without it, CO2 removal would be far too slow. The enzyme increases the rate by about 10 million-fold, enabling efficient breathing. Each cellular reaction is controlled by a specific enzyme, letting cells turn pathways on or off as needed. Enzymes are highly specific, typically binding one substrate or a small set of related molecules at a region called the active site. Lock and key is a start, but induced fit is better. The active site molds around the substrate like a glove, positioning and straining bonds. Bind, adjust, catalyze, release. Enzyme activity depends on environment. Most human enzymes work best near 37 degrees C, and at specific pH values. Too hot or too acidic, hot basic can denature proteins, destroying activity. A high fever can be dangerous for enzymes. Pepsin works in the acidic stomach, while trypsin works in the more alkaline small intestine. These sensitivities help ensure reactions run in the right place and time. A cell can't run every pathway at full speed. Regulation prevents waste and depletion. In feedback inhibition, the final product binds a separate regulatory site, changing enzyme shape and halting the pathway. Like a thermostat, when product is high, the pathway turns off. When levels fall, it turns back on. Example, isoleucine synthesis from threonine. Excess isoleucine shuts the first enzyme until supply is used. Feedback inhibition maintains balance essential for survival. Recap. Metabolism is all cellular reactions organized into pathways. Energy follows thermodynamic laws. Free energy predicts outcomes. Exergonic releases. Endergonic requires. ATP is the universal energy currency powering work via coupling. Enzymes lower activation energy with specificity. Feedback inhibition regulates pathways. These principles set the stage for cellular respiration and fermentation. How cells extract energy from glucose and capture it as ATP to power how we breathe, move, think, and live.